Hello everyone, my name's Starduster and today I'm going to be playing Oxygen Not Included, Spaced Out. So we're going to start up a new game, it's going to be survival, and we're going to go for the Spaced Out. Now we're just going to do a regular Terrania asteroid, not sure how to say it. Go with that. I haven't used all of the Ancient Specimen, Biobot Builder, I haven't done anything with these yet, so I'm really excited to see, later in this series of course, what happens with them and how to use those. And let's get into it. Here we have our three brave duplicants, Mary, Otto, and Jean. And without any further ado, let us embark. Alright, so here we have our little alert. The asteroid that we were on collided with an anomalous planet. Colony's been decimated, so we've got to rebuild it. And so I'm going to want to pause here, just look around our environment, see what we've got. Seem to have some ruins really close by, pretty useful. A lot of water. Got a biome down here. See, Pincha, hydrogen, that's good. And another biome with a similar type of here. A little bit of heat coming in from those regions, but all in all, looking pretty good. And as this series is meant for people who may not have the greatest understanding of this game, I'm going to do a basic run-through. You have your oxygen. If it's blue like this, that means it's breathable. It says here in the little tab as well. Red, not breathable. And there are degrees that you'll see. You're like, this is barely breathable. This is very breathable. You have power. Don't need to worry too much about that yet. I'll get more into those systems later. Temperature. Green is good. Green is where your colonists can live. The little dupes here, they like green. The more to the red end of the spectrum, the hotter. The more to the blue end, the colder. You get the idea. And you have light overlay. Light is very useful for increasing people's work speed, making them a little happier if they are nyctophobic. They need light to sleep. And sometimes it's just nice to have lights. Plumbing, again, we'll get more into that. Same as ventilation. Decor, very important. For rooms especially, sometimes you need a certain amount of beauty or decor in a room in order for them to like it. Germs will infect people over time, and you have several kinds: food poisoning, slime lung, zombie spores, fluorescent. They each have different effects and they each have different treatments. You have farming, which shows you crops, different states of crop growth, whether they can be harvested, whether they're growing, whether they stopped growing. You have rooms, which display different kinds of rooms that you can build and the bonuses that they offer. You have radiation, which not going to be all that important as of right now, but as you can see here, the little shine bugs, they put out a little bit of radiation. And oh yeah, down here we have base, oxygen, power, food, plumbing, ventilation, all the things you saw up here. These are where we build the buildings that use those. Here are the tools that we will use to progress our colony, to do actions, sweep, mop, harvest. You get the idea. And so I'm going to start out. It's going to dig a little area out here. Not too much. Speed it up a little bit. There we go. So you're going to want to get over here to this. I'm pretty sure that is a neural vacillator over there. And what that does, that'll give whichever duplicate I put into it a really big bonus at whatever they do. A little bit of chlorine here, I see. That could actually be a problem. Oh well. Actually, I wonder if I could use that chlorine to disinfect. Maybe. I'll look into that at some point. For now, though, I'm going to put the bathrooms... Let me just build this out a little bit. I want it to be a pretty good size. Yeah, that'll be good. And Yeah, let's dig over here a little bit. And I'll put the first bathroom here. Yeah, so if you guys will just dig out here, that'd be good. Come on. And we're going to want a wash basin. These are very important. We need 1, 2. Let's do 2, and then 2 outhouses as well. I can dig down and access this water pretty soon as well. So over here it looks like we have another Gravitas ruin, and set these left. Okay, so they've almost got this bathroom done. Once they get the bathroom done, I'm going to set up some sleeping areas. Sleeping areas will be set up, so it's what, 6 tiles there, do 6 tiles here, why not? Yeah, so what about, here? Sure. Not there, of course, but you know what I meant. I got it close enough. I'm gonna leave a good room out here for anything else I might need. Let's go ahead and set up the first few beds. There we go. And you can see here, actually, if I go up to the room overlay, I now have a barracks. It's a little weird, because it's not like a box or anything, it's just kind of open. But that's a barracks, and then I have a latrine over here. Now, these both give me a morale bonus. And we'll talk more about morale in just a minute when that gets important. Okay. So now I have all this here, which I'm doing pretty well. And my next goal will probably be... Yeah, let's go ahead and get in here. If we can. Can we? No, I can't do that. That's... I think I actually need to get through the door here. Oh, that's annoying. Oh well. I can come back to that. For now, let's set up some flooring here. It's gonna be a good ground plan, and then I can go down. That's what I'll do. I'll go down and set up another layer. We need oxygen production down here. Okay. Okay, well, there's the teleporter. There's a teleporter. And that's the supply teleporter. I got you. So what this up here does, we can't really use it yet. But when we get there, we can teleport duplicates to other planetoids, and then we can bring them back up here. And down here, this is connected to the same planetoid. It's like another asteroid. And I can send in different materials, and then I can receive different materials from the other, from the supply teleporter output, which is very useful. Going to be using those for a while when I finally get to the other planetoids. Priorities. So I do need to set up priorities now. Attacking, yes. Doctoring, you're good at doctoring. Good, good. Okay, we'll do that. And right now, I need to set up another layer down here to access this water. So I think I'll do that over here. So I've been playing this game for years now. I think I've probably put in over 1,000 hours. And this is going to be one of my first attempts to make a really efficient colony. Generally, I go for something that just looks nice. It works, don't get me wrong, it does work. But my priority has never been efficiency, it's always been, well, does this look nice too? Do I enjoy the way this looks? And I'm going to try and change that this time to show what a really efficient colony would look like. Now we're going to need a research station. I'm going to put that here. We need some more oxygen. It's getting a little hard to breathe down here. Any oxalites? No. No matter. they dig over to here, they'll have plenty of food. Food. Well, they'll have food, but they'll have plenty of oxygen. Have a manual generator. Yeah, I'll have a manual generator over here, along with a battery. A definitely safe battery. Don't mind the design at all. It's perfectly safe. And you can see here this oxygen is flowing from this pocket out, and all that heavy carbon dioxide is sinking to the bottom. Now, the solution for carbon dioxide in this game is really just let it fall into a pit and kind of forget about it until it shows up again and you realize that you have a real problem. So in here you see some polluted water. Polluted water releases polluted oxygen over time. It is very useful. You can turn it back into pure water, and you can take this polluted oxygen and turn it into regular oxygen as well. But it will cost sand to make anything useful out of this. However, you can also use it as a coolant, because the freezing point of polluted water is much lower than the freezing point of regular water, as well as the evaporation point being much higher, which is very useful for early coolant systems where you can cool it down pretty well, but water would just get too cold, freeze, and you don't want to deal with that. I've dealt with systems before where I was too lazy to switch to another coolant, and so I constantly had pipes that would freeze if I didn't manually change stuff. It was just so annoying. Oh. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I think I messed up the bathrooms, because they'll go to the bathroom and then they'll go out and they'll carry their germs. So I did mess that up. Now they can't go down here, though. Uh-oh. Well, that was a stupid mistake. Okay. I'll just have them dig up and around. You know, it doesn't matter. In the end, it'll be fine. I'll figure something out, and it'll be nice, and it'll work, and if anyone asks, I can say that I'm competent at playing this game. So we'll do a couple oxygen diffusers, get them working on this. I really messed up this bathroom placement. Oh boy. I really wanted to make this into a Great Hall over here. Thought that would be useful, but it may not be an option. It's a shame. Do a light though. Would be nice. Okay, maybe if I do ladders here. Maybe if I do, yeah. Okay, if I do ladders here, then I can bypass the bathroom. I can have them dig down about like this. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. It's not what I would have liked, but it's not something that's do it here. It's not what I would have liked. I think they can make that jump. It'll work. It'll work. So do have some CO2. I'll need to build a pit for that. And oh, that's right. I'm gonna need water. They aren't washing their hands. That's a problem. I'll have them dig down here, and we can set up a pitcher pump. That's a pitcher pump down here, and that'll allow us to use this water here. I'm not going to use the polluted water for anything. Don't have a use for it yet. I don't want a bunch of polluted oxygen in the base. And so now what I can do, I can choose a new blueprint. So blueprints are new dupes. New clothes, new seeds, good stuff here. But I think I'm going to get good old Mima here for digging. I'm going to need to excavate a large area to get the resources there. Ashken has great interests. However, that's a lot of negative traits. So I think I'll do Mima just for now. Okay. So now we have a new friend. What I can do is send them on a little expedition. If I dig, there shouldn't be any germs around here. No? Okay. I can have them dig and go around and then up. That'll work. Be a lot easier than going around top, having chlorine seep down to the base. You're always going to find that your lowest spot gets saturated with the most random mixture of gases. You'll find chlorine, carbon dioxide, natural gas, a lot of stuff like that. It just builds up in pockets. So now that I have pressure management, I'm going to go for is meal prep to start growing a little bit of mealwood. And so let's see, are they doing this? Yep, and then they go wash their hands. Perfect. That's what I like to see. And this here, this is just to show me the resources that I have. Just important things, copper, building materials, minerals, stuff like that. Even sometimes seeds, sand is a pretty important one, dirt. Things you're going to need all throughout the game, coal to burn. Just to keep an eye on all that. Now what I can do is I can tell them to harvest any plants that they come across, like this. So this means they will now automatically harvest any plants that have this little green symbol on them. If it has a red symbol, they won't harvest it, they'll just leave it alone. And that's not always what you want. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you don't want them to go out into an area where they might get hurt. You don't want that. But if possible, you want them to get stuff like mealwood, just for that little food bonus. So what I'm doing now is setting up some airflow tiles to help gases go through the base. They're not necessary, but I've always used them just to speed up the process. This is going to be most of the base here, central base at least. And I'll have only an exit on this side and an exit on this side as well. I have to go in here and get rid of all this one side. They can't. Can they not dig through that? Surely they can. Yeah, Mima can dig through it. That's what she can do. Yep, Mima. There we go. So now we... Oh, wait, what? Oh, yucky lungs. So there are some things like that where they'll take more oxygen if they get too much polluted oxygen in. That can be a problem. I don't really know if I can deal with that right now. I don't think I have. Well, I might actually. I have a refinement? No, I don't have anything to deal with that just yet. Oh, yeah, she needs to be digging. That's what she needs to be doing. Come on, Mimo. And everyone else I will have working on... Let's do a new little area over here. Work on this floor up here, and I'll have it be a lot of crop growing for now. So it will be set up with farm tiles. Very, very useful. Take up less room than something like a planter box. They cost the same as a planter box, but they don't require another tile underneath them. So they're pretty useful. So we should be over here pretty soon. Hopefully no one gets infected from all the slime lung out here. You can see the germs, they're here on the slime, as you'd expect. Slime lung isn't all that dangerous. In earlier versions of the game, it was a force to be reckoned with. You had to be very concerned about it. But now it's really not all that much of a danger. I will make a larger bedroom to accommodate Mima, though. So I'll set her up a bedroom here, along with room for any more duplicates we might get along with. Okay, and so now You're researching really fast. We got a great duplicate for that. Having a 12 skill just right off the bat, very useful. We're going to go for plumbing and sanitation next. That will be very useful starting to move away from the outhouse and even bringing in more polluted water and turning it into regular water. Up here you can see the farms coming along nicely. They've added some new culinary options, some new places to cook. I'm very interested to see what those are. I've kind of glanced at them in the research. As you can see here, they have new gourmet meal prep. They have the gas range, which they've always had, and the dehydrator and the rehydrator, and bracking, which is new. So that's very interesting there. And the plant pulverizer, new animal control, very interesting to see here. Something like the spice grinder, that was new the last time I played, so you can tell it's been a little while since I did anything in this game. I don't know how the little morb got stuck under the mesh tile, but I'm not too unhappy about it. Morbs generate sickness. That's all they do. You can actually tell if you go here to the germ overlay. They have this little green circle in the box that shows what kind of germs that they generate. They generate slime lung. You can see here they're breathing it out, and it takes a good bit of slime lung. You see here this is 913,000 germs, and it's only exhaling like 5,000. It takes a lot of germs to really pose a threat to a colony, and as long as you have a doctor, you're not going to be in too much trouble. Especially with radiation that's been added and spaced out, germs really aren't all that much of a struggle, as you can simply put them through radiation. Or at least, that's what I've found to be pretty effective way of dispatching it. So now here we have, again, a barracks, another barracks, and a latrine. Next thing we're going to go for is probably a Great Hall. A Great Hall is basically just a mess hall, or a dining room. You can think of it as that. As you can see, the Great Hall, hopefully it'll be a Great Hall. It may just end up being a mess hall. We'll see. But it should give them at least 3 morale. And morale is useful here. So Mr. Otto here, he has 2 morale. And every skill that he learns, like advanced researching, that adds 1 negative morale. So what you need to happen is you need the green to outweigh the red. If you go into the red, he's going to be stressed. Stressed is, over enough time, it will show you here. Stress reactions are bad. They will cause your duplicates to destroy things, to vomit everywhere, to eat all your food. Not good. But if they're really happy, on the other hand, then they'll work harder, they'll increase everyone else's mood. A lot of great stuff happens. So, as of right now, I'm thinking, let's go ahead and get the skill. Thinking I'm going to need a spot. Yeah, we're done. I'm going to need well, the mess hall's almost done, but I'm going to need a place for storage. Storage is always going to be a problem, as there are so many resources, especially by the late game. There is simply no way to accommodate them all. So I'm gonna get ahead of that if possible. Let me set up some storage down here. As you can tell, these materials, they add up, and they really negatively affect decor, which is a problem. Hopefully this is a Great Hall. Is this a mess hall? It must be missing something. Oh, it's missing a recreational building. Okay. That's not too hard to get past. I can put a water cooler in. Eventually I'll deconstruct that and replace it with a water cooler. This is just a ration box. It holds all the food. And so this over here, I can determine what elements I want. I don't want any eggs, since that will cause them to take damage. Don't want that. And don't want any oxalite in there, as that will cause it to just bleed away into nothing. Yeah, well, into oxygen. I want to store oxalite under water or under some other liquid so that it doesn't dissipate over time, as oxalite will be useful later on. I don't want to store anything in there that will dissipate or that will melt, anything like that that has a state change, because that can adversely affect the rest of the colony. So now I'm thinking filtration down to distillation. But in order to do that, I'm going to need a supercomputer. Supercomputers, they take water and they generate a little bit more heat. As you can tell here, I already have some heat being generated by the manual generator, the battery, everything else. The battery I will deconstruct and replace with a jumbo battery. It's more efficient and holds more. Shouldn't take too long for them to do that. While they're doing that, though, I will assign a skill here to Mary. Probably improved construction. Yeah, that's a good one. So now I can put in the jumbo battery. You can see here the power overlay shows wires, how they're connected, how much power is drawn from the connections. Very useful stuff. And since Otto has a, let's see here, does it show it? Skills, yeah. Shows that he has the advanced research skill. He can use the supercomputer. Very useful. And it's going to be necessary for our colony to progress. I can copy the settings directly from one storage bin to another to speed up this process, send them all up. And eventually I need someone to go over here and submit a bioscan. So now we have some other options for who to bring in. Ideally, I want someone who can be a farmer or a chef, but no one here has those. Also, so we have a Luddite who's also good at operating, so he actually only has a +1 in machinery. You need to keep an eye on that. Sometimes you think you're getting a good dupe, and you're not. So you do need to be careful about that. Over here, Quinn's pretty good. Great with construction, excavation. Ari is good, but she will eat a lot more food than everybody else, and it's not great. And she also, her interests are all over the place. She would be great at carrying stuff around, tidying, hauling, good with that, but I'm thinking Quinn is going to be the one I go with. Welcome aboard, Quinn. And you always need to remember, check priorities. Make sure people are set to stuff that they're good at. Don't just ignore this. This is going to be very important for efficiency, especially later on. Okay, so I don't know whose job it is. Is it Gene? Are you doing that? Gene? Okay. So now I can go in here, and are you going to kill that? Thank you. I can put someone in the vacillator. You can see here, it's a little toasty over here. I'm going to have some heat leaking in. Not ideal, but I have to get over here in order to open all this stuff up. So, nope, no. Gene, how do I... Okay, yeah, I can move you. I want you to go over here, Gene, so we can open this up, and I'll rummage through these lockers, and I'll inspect them. When you inspect stuff, now you get data banks, which are useful for later game research, I believe. So, we're going to see a lot of this heat is coming over. That's going to be a problem. Eventually, I'll need a way to work around that. I can tell that it's a little cold up here. So, what that might be... Well, I don't know what that might be. If I remember correctly, there's generally a couple cold geysers here, cold water, and you can filter that back down into to regular drinkable water. I think it's normally polluted and salt water. It goes the normal two ways. I could be mistaken on that. It has been a while, as I said earlier, but we will see. Okay, so today's goal is going to be to finish what we've been working on here with distillation. And to set up at least a slightly insulated area here. This is not the ideal vision that I had, but okay, we have a warm sweater. That's not very so, but a cool vest. That's good. That's good. For the people who dig out here, they're going to need thinner clothing, otherwise they will heat up a little bit. They can get heat stroke. And now that they've dug it out as well, I can go in here, and you see this is insulated tile. I can't build any of it yet, but that will be my next goal, is insulated tile here. And then I can set up a water sieve, set up all kinds of good stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and select temperature modulation. So it looks like Jean can do research as well, but I'm not sure that's what she needs to be doing. Having only a 0 skill in science, it might be better if no, again, wrong one. If I don't have anyone else do science, that way she gets better and better at science. So I'll have... What? Nope, wrong. Where is it? There it is. I'll have everyone else not do science. Again, you gotta be right on it. Yeah, have everyone else not do science so that she's the only one leveling up in it. Or well, he is, my bad, Aldo. I don't want her doing any, she needs to be focused on other stuff. I'm gonna have them sweep up everything here. Make it look a little tidier. This is no longer considered a barracks. It's true. I'll just demolish. I can't demolish, that's right. That's a little annoying. Okay. Make sure you always inspect this stuff. You get databanks. It's pretty useful. And in here, what this does is, again, I'm going to inspect it, get some databanks. What this does is it assigns a random positive trait to whatever duplicate you put in it. I'm thinking I'm going to put... I'll probably put Mary in it. Or Marie. I'm trying to say it. Yeah, I'll put Marie in it since she's going to be in charge of construction. As you can see here, it takes a little while. She gets in it. And doesn't take all that long. Complete it. And there we go. So now she takes less oxygen. It's great. Okay, so 14,000 calories of meat. Not ideal. Not the best food. They don't really like it. But they'll endure. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. We didn't get as far as I would have liked, only to cycle 7. But I'll see you all next episode.